Video Gallery Walk by Valerie Simonoff. Maslow once quoted, "I suppose it is tempting, if the only tool you have is a hammer, to treat everything as if it were a nail." This quote demonstrates that while a hammer can be useful at times, it is not the most appropriate tool for every purpose. Yet there are still people out there relying on the same tools rather than seeking new solutions. Maslow's quote suggests expanding the horizons, learn about new ways of thinking, and explore the right tools and the right mindset. One of the first brain and cognitive development theories that stuck out to me was from Jean Piaget. There are 4 stages of cognitive development: sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. It is important for educators to understand the 4 stages of cognitive development so that they also understand the learner's thinking process and how they make sense of the world. Since I am a training specialist for the Army and I teach adults, my primary focus was on the formal operations stage. Piaget taught us the importance of understanding and building on students' thinking. Once we return to work, I plan to get out of the office more, visit the soldiers' workplaces. I will observe my students while they are at work. I will take observational notes while they are solving real-world problems and identify what kind of logic and strategies that they use. I can then use these notes when developing curriculum and build on their current way of thinking. We develop the perspective of others and our capabilities for abstract thinking in our adolescent years. Glaser states that at age 11 or so, there are 2 possible outcomes: a success identity or a failure identity. Those with a success identity are characterized by the ability to give and receive love, and the feeling of doing something that is important to oneself or others. Those with a failure identity are characterized by loneliness, apathy, and withdrawal or delinquency. During this course, I learned about Glaser's basic rule in helping a child change a failure identity to a success identity is to replace the 7 deadly habits with the 7 caring habits. This falls under the choice theory. Although this states that it can help a child, I feel that it would also be beneficial for adults who still suffer with failure identity. Therefore, I plan to apply the 7 caring habits in the classroom. To have a positive effect on the students, I will also celebrate our differences and let them know that we are all different people and that is okay. Every person is distinctively unique and requires their own specific teaching methods. In fact, today's classrooms are remarkably diverse. They speak different languages, have different ethnicities, and live in different communities. Some come from poverty, while others are from money and power. All have their own challenges, but since I once taught in a low-income school, this topic hit home. Children who grow up in poverty can have negative lifelong effects. It can negatively affect their physical health, mental health, and well-being. It can also negatively affect their academic outcomes. Children living in poverty are at a greater risk of behavioral and emotional problems such as aggression, ADHD, anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. Just because my students serve in the military does not exempt them from these negative lifelong effects. I will not make excuses, and I am willing to do whatever it takes to help each learner succeed. I will create positive and supportive environments that will encourage anyone to bounce back from life's negative circumstances and thrive. There are personal, behavioral, and environmental factors that can affect a student's experience at school and their overall learning experience. These influences are part of the triadic reciprocal causality system, and it falls under the social cognitive theory. There are 2 key elements of the social cognitive theory: observational learning and self-efficacy. Both elements have a huge impact on the implications for teaching. I will keep these factors in mind when teaching and developing curriculum. This is especially important since my students are highly mobile, operational, and are faced with many challenges. Even adults are eager to model others that seem to be more competent, powerful, prestigious, and enthusiastic. Before they can model others, they first must learn by observational learning. In teaching, we must be positive models for the students. We also must model the instructions and make clear presentations by highlighting the important points. I learned that when demonstrating a skill, it is important to have the students look over my shoulder while I emphasize each step and explicitly describe every step aloud. I will apply observational learning in the classroom and encourage others to do the same. One of the greatest aha moments I experienced in this course was self-efficacy. Self-efficacy are the beliefs that we hold about our own abilities. It builds on authentic accomplishments or by witnessing someone else's accomplishments. Bandura developed 4 sources of self-efficacy. These sources are experience success, see others succeed, receive encouragement, and manage negative emotions. When used collectively, these 4 sources can help learners overcome their fears, make a change, and succeed. Visionary and innovator Henry Ford summed it up perfectly when he said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right." As educators, we can take these principles and apply them with ourselves and use them in the classroom as they apply to all areas of life. There were numerous learning experiences throughout this course, and for the sake of time, many were not mentioned. Lessons about self-concept, identity formation, and self-efficacy will not only help me in the classroom, but they will help me with my own personal development. Theories such as Piaget's theory of cognitive development, Erikson's stages of psychological development, and social cognitive theory have better prepared me to differentiate instruction to the learner and help find the right tool for each person. The findings from this course have motivated me to challenge my mindset, expand the horizons, and learn new ways of thinking. These are essential elements in the implications of effective teaching.